Hello everyone, welcome back. So in previous lecture we are discussed about model mapper, right? So model mapper is used to convert entity from your DTO class object, and also model mapper is used for in reverse way, like you can convert from entity to DTO as well as DTO to entity as well. Okay, so but here we have created a model mapper object as a model mapper is equal new model mapper. So if you create object like this, what will happen whenever this find employee by id method is being called, every time one new object is being created, right? So that is not good. So this is not best way to create model mapper object. So now what we can do, so let me comment it out. So we have to create singleton bean class object, so that whenever you are accessing find by employee id, so it will always use that shared object. Okay, that object should be created by spring boot. Okay, so how we can create model mapper object without using so now here we have to create let me create it here. You have to declare a property of private model mapper model mapper. We'll see earlier we have used we are creating passport JPA repository and employee JPA repository with the help of AutoWire. We'll see whether if we do at the rate AutoWire, whether our model mapper object is created by Spring container or not. We'll check. So what will happen? See, I have declared it as a model mapper and specifying at the rate AutoWire. Check the console. Is there any errors? See, application is not able to start successfully because model mapper that could not found. You can see what is the error. Model mapper that could not found. So spring container is not able to inject the not able to initialize the object of model mapper because it is not able to find. Why? Because so injection point has the following annotation. So when it is trying to inject, so Spring Boot always will check what are all the arg dot spring framework dot beans dot factory, then arg dot spring framework root package, then only Spring Boot is able to create the objects. So which is this model mapper is available in which package? You can see it is available in arg dot model mapper, so not in spring framework package. It is inside the arg dot model mapper package. So that's the reason spring boot is not able to identify the model mapper to create the singleton instance for model mapper. So in that case, such kind of classes, how we can create the objects? So we have to declare it as a bean. So what we can do, we can declare it as a bean. How we can declare? Public uh, we have to return model mapper and get model mapper. So method name we can give anything. So here you can do this model mapper is equal to new model mapper. So after that, so you have to return. There are several ways are there. So this is one of the way to create a model mapper object. So here you have to declare this method as a bean at the rate bean. This should be arg.spring framework dot connotation package. So here, so the moment you declare it as a bean, then Spring Boot can able to initialize the model mapper object. So now if you see in the console, there is no errors. If you see, there is no errors now. So Tomcat server started successfully. Now if you try to fetch the record, send the request, so you can fetch the details value. So model mapper object is created only once. The moment your server started, so that time spring container will create the model mapper object. This is how we can do. Okay, so now we are talking about relationships, right? So one-to-one relationships. So in previous lectures we have implemented one-to-one relationship between employee and passport. So here I have a question actually. So some people, I asked in many interviews. Most of the people asked, most of the people I asked one question. So can you declare one-to-one relationship mapping? Can you write one-to-one relationship? How you are going to define one-to-one relationship mapping with any your child class object? So so people are written like at the rate one-to-one, and then immediately here they will write fetch fetch I will copy paste. Okay, cascade is called all. Just people are writing like this. So write on one to one cascade is fetch type all. So at the same time they are writing like this: join column, and inside that they are specifying some column name, column underscore name, and then reference, something like a reference name. So let me check that. Join column name, and it will have name is equal, they will give join column name, column underscore name, and then reference column name. Like this people are writing whenever I am asking an interview question. So let me paste it here. So but when we are implementing one-to-one relationship, we haven't added join column, right? We haven't added join column, but still we have implemented one-to-one relationship. Our application is working successfully. We are able to fetch the employee along with passport details, right? Now we are fetching a passport details along with employee details, right? So without specifying the join column, then I asked him immediately, so what is the purpose of join column? So some people are answered like so in the, during a one-to-one relationship mapping we must declare join column, otherwise it will not work. So if you see in our code, we haven't mentioned any join column, but still our code is working properly. We are able to maintain a one-to-one relationship, right? So then what is the purpose join column? No answer. That guy, most of the people are not answered. So in that case, some people are able to answer, some people are not able to answer. So my intention here is you should not by heart the code. You have to understand each and every annotation. What is the purpose we need to declare at the rate join column? What is the purpose we have to declare at the rate one-to-one annotation? So I'm going to explain you why we need to specify at the rate join column. Whether is it mandatory to declare whenever you are creating one-to-one relationship? No, it is not mandatory, because we already created without at the rate join column, right? So without adding at the rate join column, we have created one-to-one relationship. So now I will explain what is the purpose of at the rate join column. So now let me stop the server. So before explaining, so I want to delete the database to make you understand the purpose of at join column. So let me deleted, and sorry, Now I am trying to create new data, same database, recreate again employee DB. So now we don't have any table, right? So whenever we are generating tables with the help of DDL auto statement, right? So when the moment you start the server, so Hibernate will generate employee table, because we haven't defined any table name. We haven't created tables in database, right? We haven't created tables in database. So we are using DDL auto statements. Through that we are creating our entity table names in database, right? So the moment you start the server, Hibernate will generate employee table as well as Hibernate will generate passport table. So while creating tables, so Hibernate knows there is a one-to-one relationship declared along with passport property. So Hibernate knows that, so there is a relationship between employee and passport. So Hibernate need to create foreign key relationship with passport. So employee table name should create with foreign key relationship with passport. So because of by specifying at the rate one to one, the moment we specify at the rate one to one, Hibernate knows that there is a relationship is specified with the employee and passport. So how relationship can maintain? So by creating foreign key and primary key, right? So Hibernate knows that, so there is a uh, foreign key relationship is present in employee table. So Hibernate will generate foreign key in employee table. What is the foreign key? That is primary key of passport will be foreign key in employee table. So now see, let's as of now we don't have any tables in database, right? So you can see we don't have any tables in database. I have deleted, nothing is there. So now if I start the server, I just started the server. So server started successfully. See, first what Hibernate is doing, first Hibernate is created employee table. After that Hibernate is created passport table. Then next, how these two are created? Based on the, because we have declared class as a entity, employee as a entity, and similarly passport also declared as a entity. The moment you declared it as a entity, and also we have enabled application dot properties, we have enabled DDL auto. The moment you enable this, so Hibernate will generate the tables for us, right? So that's the reason Hibernate generated two tables, because of by specifying at the rate entity, right? So next, so employee table is having a relationship, right? One-to-one relationship. So Hibernate knows that. So there is a relationship specified with the passport. So employee should have foreign key of primary key of passport to maintain the foreign key. So now that's the reason, if you check the console, once both the tables are created, then Hibernate is generating the query to alter the employee, because to add the to add a new column in employee table. See, alter table employee, and the new column which is added by Hibernate in employee table. What is the new column? Passport underscore ID, because there is a relationship is specified. That's the reason Hibernate created the primary key of passport, foreign key of passport in foreign key of passport table in employee table. In employee, Hibernate is created foreign key, right? So that will map to primary key of passport table. So that's the reason Hibernate is generated foreign key in employee table. So what is the name it is given? So if you don't specify any column while creating the, see here I haven't declared any column name or something like that to reference that value. right? So if you don't specify any column, so Hibernate is created uh, column name as passport underscore id. How Hibernate is taking? So first it will take this passport property, passport table name is a passport. So this passport property underscore id is nothing but the primary key which is given in passport. So Hibernate by default it will take passport table name as a main name, and then underscore it is adding id underscore id primary key of passport. So that is how Hibernate is generated foreign key name as a passport underscore id. So now I want to create my custom column name, not passport underscore id. If you go and check in database, refresh employee and open employee. If you check it here, passport underscore id column is created in employee table. So based on the primary key column name is id. So how the moment we specify one-to-one annotation in employee table, so Hibernate is created by taking passport table and then passport underscore the primary key of passport. So that is created in employee table, passport underscore id. So because you haven't specified any column name, so now I want to create my own custom column name. So I don't want to create like passport underscore id. I want to create like my custom passport name. So column name. So how we can declare? We can declare by specifying at the rate join column, and then I want to create my own column name, foreign key column name, my own foreign key column in employee table. So I want to create a passport underscore for fk, whatever name you have given. So Hibernate will generate the foreign key with this name. So how now in this case how Hibernate should identify the primary key? So we have to define the which primary key I have to create this name. So we have to declare that. How we can declare? With by specifying reference column name. So what is the column name? The primary key of passport. So this id we have to give. The moment if you give like this, so let me stop the server. So immediately, so before starting the server again, I want to delete. So otherwise uh, passport underscore id also will be there, a new column also will be created in database. So let me drop database. So you don't have any. So before starting before generating the new table columns, so let me create employee db and then create it. So now nothing is there, right? So now I have specified explicitly. I have specified. Let me clear the console as well. I have declared I want to specify this is the column name to create in employee table based on the primary key of passport. So now if you start the server, you'll see what will happen. If you observe here, first Hibernate created employee table and passport table. After that, it is altering the employee table to add foreign key columns. See, it is created as a passport underscore fk. So foreign key. So I have given my custom column name here, passport underscore fa. So Hibernate created column name as, let me refresh object browser and then open the employee table. Just refresh it, so you can see the column name is inserted as passport underscore key, passport underscore fk foreign key, passport underscore foreign key. So that is the purpose we will use join column. This join column will refers to the foreign key column of employee table. So this foreign key will be mapped with the primary key of passport table. That's it. So even if you don't specify or if you specify, both are same intent. So only the foreign primary key and foreign key relationship in your entities. So the moment to specify, so whatever name if you specify here, so Hibernate always looking whenever you are performing database operations. So that time whenever you are inserting employee, so employee, when you are trying to insert employee, so there is a passport. Before inserting employee, passport will insert, right? So the primary key of passport will be stored in this column. So that's it. That is the main purpose of at the rate join column, to maintain, to specify the foreign key and primary key relationship with employee table, to give their own custom column name. So this is how we can understand. So what is the purpose of specifying at the rate join column? Even without specifying it will work. So when you have to specify, so whenever there is a, if you want to create any specific column name, and whenever there is a column names, if you specify manually as part of an employee or passport properties, whenever specifying column names, that column name if you want to create as a custom column name, that time you have to give it as a join column. And this join column reference to the foreign key relationship with passport table, right? So that is the purpose, guys. Even if you don't give also, it will work. So Hibernate will generate its own foreign key column name. So if you give manually by specifying at the rate column, then Hibernate will create the column name as passport underscore foreign key. So most of the people will by heart the uh, by heart the annotations to implement one-to-one annotation, one-to-one association or one-to-one relationship. So now hopefully you got the purpose. You can define based on your requirement. If you don't have requirement to define your own custom column name, so then you no need to declare. If you want to especially if you specify, if you want to specify with custom column name, then you can declare. Otherwise you no need, because Hibernate will generate always based on your relationship which is given with one-to-one annotation. Hibernate automatically will create the primary key. So generally in real time we will not create tables by specifying ddl auto. So in real time environment always uh, we will create database administrator or database engineer will plan the model everything, and he will create the tables for us to before starting the application. So we have to use existing tables, to perform database operation. So in real time 99% we will not going to use to auto generate the tables in JPA. So if it is if it is a scratch project, then you can create, but in real time always the database administrator or your project architect will create the DB model, and then the database tables we have to utilize to perform all the operations based on their requirement. Okay guys, hopefully you have understood. So in next lecture, so most of the people might be thinking, sir, one-to-one relationship we have taken almost 4 5 6 lectures, why I am taking this one? I want to explain each pin to pin. In one class itself, the moment I am trying to explain you one-to-one relationship, that time itself I can directly write this and I can implement and one-to-one mapping, and I can finish the class. But I don't want to teach in that way. So if people have to should understand everything, what is the purpose of cascade of all, what is the purpose lazy I am giving, what is the purpose join column I am giving. So if I do in that way, everybody will not by heart the code, they will understand easily, anyone can understand easily. So in lifetime you can remember. If you want to implement one-to-one association mapping, also one-to-one association mapping, so then you can easily write without by adding the code. You have to understand and write the code. Okay guys, so in next lecture I will teach you how to implement bidirectional mapping. Okay guys, thank you so much. If anyone who are all watching newly to my video, so you can subscribe my channel like youtube.com/rasul/playlist. You can use this link and you can subscribe my YouTube channel, and you can watch all the videos I have added in sequential order. You can see 29 so far. As of now 29 videos are there. So every day I will add one new class in sequential order, so that you can learn easily by step. If you have any doubts, you can ping me in my WhatsApp number 9035160783. So as soon as possible, I will respond your doubts. Okay, respond to your doubts. Okay, thank you guys. I will catch you later in next lecture. Okay, please subscribe guys.